And so I recently found myself, I had a really full day of calls and just things I needed to do that required me to be really on. And I found myself in the afternoon after eating a very blood sugar balancing lunch that was, almost 40 grams of protein. It was probably 40 grams of protein, fiber, healthy fats, like wanting to snack. And I paused because I knew it had nothing to do with food. I was on this cortisol cascade, and I really needed to stop and pause. And I actually went and sat in the chair that's behind me, and I just put my feet on the floor and I took several deep breaths. And I was able to work with my nervous system and realize that you're okay, you're safe, you can do this. We really need to pause and ask ourselves what we need. And what I needed was a break, and I needed some encouragement, and I needed some water, and I needed to just, like I said, I needed a break. Okay. And so this is really, really important, because a lot of this is also working with your nervous system. Because if your nervous system perceives that everything is a threat, and this is called hypervigilance, you're not going to have a lot of emotional bandwidth. And so, the example that I always give is if I'm talking to a group of men and women, and ladies always laugh at this too, is that men, you will know that your wife, partner doesn't have enough progesterone, or is in a certain phase in her cycle where her progesterone is lower, because you chew and she gives you that look like, please do not chew, please do not breathe. Okay. And if you're everyone can relate to this, everyone has had this experience. And so it just goes to show that cortisol, progesterone, these hormones, that their downstream effect of what's happening in the body will narrow your emotional capacity to handle things. And so when you're finding that you are outside of that capacity, you're going to notice things, and that is your body's giving you the awareness that you need to take a pause and ask, what do I need? And then meet that need. So here's what I want you to take away and try this week is get outside at sunrise to get natural light in your eyes. And if you're thinking, I can't do that, that seems so simple, I don't want to go out in the cold, anything like that, I want you to just pause, because the simple things consistently over time often make the biggest difference.